Book today at thebox.live.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold I-CAR certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future, and I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the South Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the South Dakota Broadcasters Association and this station.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. The Black Hills Sports Station. 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
Marlins stopped the Phillies today 8-6. Griffin Conine, a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 8th in a pinch hit situation, propelled the Marlins to the sweep. They're now 2 back of the wild card. Actually, the second wild card in the NL, because the Phillies with the loss are now tied with Arizona for that second wild card spot in the National League. That's because the Diamondbacks beat the Pirates today 3-0. And like the Marlins, the Pirates are 2 games back. Blue Jays topped the Nationals 5-2. Mets over the Braves 3-2. Orioles dropped the Tigers in 12, 10-9. At one point, Baltimore trailed 7-0. Tarek Skubal gets the no decision. Did record his 1,000th career strikeout today in what could be his last game as a Tiger. Giants all over the Brewers right now in the 7th, 10-2, while the Padres lead the Rockies 3-0 in the 6th. Niners wide receiver Ricky Pearsall dealing with swelling in his right knee. Saints defensive lineman Brian Brzee suffered a knee injury in practice today. Falcons quarterback Tua Tagovailoa out dealing with a tight back. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, good Wednesday afternoon. Welcome in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, back and ready. Fox Sports Radio, KWSN in Sioux Falls. How you doing? Hopefully great. Fox Sports Rapid City. Hope you're solid. It's a little hot across the board, but it is always a great day in South Dakota. Say it with me. The Nate Brown Show, ready to go on a Wednesday. Great guest lineup from South Dakota and beyond. We'll go high school. We'll go NFL. We'll go college. Good stuff tonight. The Nate Brown Show is live. We are on the radio. We love that, our radio home. But you can stream us. Go to X, follow us, and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. Welcome in if you're watching on X. At Nate Brown Show, you've got us. If you're not, follow the show and then watch us live every afternoon there on X at Nate Brown Show. Also, YouTube channel. I tell you about it. Hopefully you've checked it out. The Nate Brown Show. Go to youtube.com. Go The Nate Brown Show. And then you've got us live right now. And Midwest Sports Plus, the high school sports app, and The Nate Brown Show live. Midwest Sports Plus. Wednesday show. What does it look like? Let's look at the guest lineup so you know who's coming up. What do we got cooking? We will go to Eric Williams tonight, national NFL writer for FoxSports.com. Eric Williams is popping around the NFC West. Yeah, there's that headline with Kyle Shanahan. There's the Rams stuff. Everybody thinks they're the team to beat. Eric Williams on the NFC West and more. He's stopping by training camps just underway this week. He's coming up, FoxSports.com. We'll go to Denver. Doug Ottewell's going to check in, talk AFC West tonight. Doug Ottewell of MileHighSports.com. It's that time of year wrapping up July. Everybody's getting into camp. The Vikings were getting after it today, so we'll get some updates. Doug Ottewill is coming up from Denver, breaking down the AFC West as well. And we'll go to Craig Maddock, SDPB Sports, South Dakota sports broadcaster. Craig Maddock, East River meets West River tonight on the Nate Brown Show with Craig dropping by. Plus, a Wednesday means it's 5 questions from Chris. Chris back from vacation. Chris, could you call that? Back and with 5 questions from Chris tonight. That is on tap. You have any questions? You have any comments? You have any texts? You can text us on the Barron's Wilson text line. We've got it for you. It's open. 605-720-1067. Put that number in your phone. Call it the Nate Brown Show text line. We call it the Barron's Wilson text line. And you've got us. 605-720-1067. Be a part of the conversation there. And the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline. Always welcome you in on that. Powered by the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Stop by your locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch for the best buffet in East River. It is the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. That is the number of the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. You've got us. Okay, it's time to get into a mess today. I don't plan on getting into messes, but I'm going to blame this one on producer of the Nate Brown Show, Matt Kearney. He's started a mess. And I thought, let's have some fun with this. Let's break this down as we get set for another college sports season. My friend here, Matt Kearney, took a vacation. We have to get our vacations in the summer, right? So he took a vacation. He was popping around the West. He was out here in the West. And he decided to go through Laramie, Wyoming on his way back. And I thought, hey, this is right here, man. My brother played for the University of Wyoming. I've told you guys this. I'm a Wyoming fan because I went to games 3 straight years. And so a lot of history there. I've had Josh Allen on the show. That's my boy. So all of that stuff. So I'm like, hey, he's never been to the University of Wyoming. And so he popped in. He's looking around. Let's just say this. I'm not going to get too deep tonight. But he did offer up a great topic for the Nate Brown Show question of the day on this Wednesday, before a college sports season starts up. He's trying to say, Matt Kearney's trying to tell me that Laramie was okay. I don't want to get too ugly tonight because social media and the Nate Brown Show text line can get ugly. It's not too ugly. You guys are very respectful, yes. But he said Laramie, Wyoming was okay. It's a college town. He said it was okay. You can find what else he said. But I'll leave that for that. But that started my debate today. I started thinking, wait, if Kearney thinks Laramie, Wyoming, University of Wyoming is okay, it's a college town, there's not a lot going on. He said it's the middle of summer. By the way, he went during Cheyenne Frontier Days. Everybody was 45 miles down the road. But nonetheless, he said, man, Laramie's got, there wasn't a lot going on. So I said, hang on, you can't hit me and the University of Wyoming and Laramie, which I spent a great deal of my younger life in every other Saturday. I said, I can't let that go. So then I started thinking, wait, let's think of the college towns around this region. And let's bring all the college towns into the category tonight, and let's let the listeners of the Nate Brown Show decide. Let's just have a fun little poll tonight on the Nate Brown Show. Which is the best college town? Yes, I'm talking sports, atmosphere, environment, things to, college kids like doing. You got outdoors. You got, you got to have a bar scene, some people would say. So you got to have coffee shops. Yeah, you got to have games. You got to have you got to have the town embrace the university. So that's what I think. When I say college town, who has the best college town of the region? So I'm going to put University of Wyoming and Laramie, Wyoming on the list. So let's kind of cover this region. I'm going to go some FBS from the Mountain West, and then we'll go FCS here from South Dakota. And so be careful with this. I want Jacks fans. I want Yotes fans. I want Bison fans. I want Wyoming fans. We cover it across the state, East River and West River tonight. Which town is the best college town out of those four? I'm going to go through it. Laramie, Wyoming. And you got to give me a little experience, guys. I've been to Laramie a ton, so I can give you the background on that. It's an acquired taste, especially in December through like April. November through April. But you know how that goes in Brookings as well. So give me Brookings. Got to go Jacks and Brookings, how they embrace South Dakota State there in Brookings. That is quite the Jackrabbit town. You guys know this. Got to go Vermilion. Vermilion and USD. USD is Vermilion. Vermilion, small town. Got to go all the way southeast. No, people kind of forget about Verm. What do you say about Verm? And the last one I'm going to throw in tonight, Fargo, North Dakota. And I hate to break it to you, but Kearney was talking to me. We were going over this. Let's send it out to the Nate Brown Show audience tonight before college sports season starts this fall. And if you had your take and you said, hey, this is the best college town. It's unique. Kind of maybe you like the small atmosphere. Maybe you like the dining scene. Maybe you like how the town embraces its game day, and this is all that's going on, and the support is great. So I've got mine. I'm going to tell you why. You won't be surprised. I'm going to tell you why, but you tell me yours. It's my question of the day. Let's throw it out to the audience. 605-720-1067. 605-720-1067. And I want you to tell me which is the best college town. Rank the best college town. 605-720-1067. Laramie, University of Wyoming. Brookings, South Dakota State. Vermilion, USD. Fargo, NDSU. This is what I'd like you to break down. We have, let's count this up, 274 votes on X right now. 274 votes on X. So there's a lot of people voting. And this is across the board. I've got people voting from South Dakota, Wyoming. So we're going to rank these. I want you to rank them on the text line and tell me your read on this. I got a random submission here from Eric. Eric said, what about Grand Forks? You're going to throw in Grand Forks? I'm not going to throw it. I can't throw in all these towns, but Grand Forks, very interesting. I have to tell you, I've not done the Fargo thing. I'm thinking about it this fall. The Wyoming Cowboys play North Dakota State in October. We're thinking about doing the Nate Brown Show on the road. Should we pull that off from the Fargo Dome? That might be my experience in Fargo. It's early October, so I won't freeze. Yeah, it'll already froze up there in September, but that might be on the docket, so I'll experience Fargo. I have somebody, Jake, checked in. He says, Fargo's not a college town. Fargo's not a college town. It's a town that happens to have a college. Is that right? Fargo's not a college town. Derek checking in. Fargo Moorhead has like 19,000 student enrollment between NDSU, Concordia, and Minnesota State. Definitely has a college town feel, even though it's a large city. Okay, a back and forth take on Fargo, at least to start the program. Let's see who's checking in on this. All right, I've got another Grand Forks. I think this Grand Forks vote, they're trying to mess around. I got another one on X here from Trent. I think you're messing around, aren't you? That Grand Forks should not make this list. So rank the college towns in this region. And let's run through this. 605-720-1067. We're getting some Brookings votes. We are getting some Brookings votes. I haven't seen a bunch of Vermilion votes coming in. I don't see a bunch of Laramie votes coming in, but what's the ranking on X? 49% on X, winning the vote on the Nate Brown Show. Brookings. 49%, nearly half of the voters on X are going Brookings. 30%, coming in second, Laramie, Wyoming. Can I share with you, if you haven't experienced Laramie, Wyoming? I experienced it a lot. more than most listening to this program is my guess. That's my guess. I went there over and over and over for fall football seasons. And that was back in the day, so it's changed a little bit, obviously. Not enough light on the streets for Matt Kearney still. But don't worry, it's okay. He can get around. He's not that old yet. I'm older than Kearney, so he can get around. He hopefully doesn't trip without the street lights. But Laramie, Wyoming, here's what you got going. Voted one of the best outdoor universities in the country, top 5 by Backpacker Magazine. Yes, top 5 in the country. So what I'm telling you got to have all that stuff. You got to have some unique restaurants, some of the downtown stuff. And Laramie's not like a metropolis, so it is that college town feel. It is like Brookings, I will say that. Like Brookings does have a college. I like the college towns. I don't like, I can't tell you Fargo's, I can't give you expertise on Fargo. I can't give you expertise on Grand Forks. I just know people are trolling Grand Forks on the show today. But I can't give you Fargo. That seems like a big city, and it's like, well, yeah, there's NDSU there. It doesn't fit. Does Fargo just, is NDSU all over Fargo, or do they have other stuff going on? I would guess there's other stuff going on. On a game day in Laramie, I'm talking on a game day or anything, all week, it's brown and gold, it's the Buck and Horse, it's the whole thing. Not just in Laramie, guys, the whole state of Wyoming, all 200,000 residents. I'm kidding. The whole state of Wyoming goes to Laramie and travels to game day in the southern part of the state. Wyoming, Laramie, Wyoming is a pure college town. There's nothing more important than Wyoming in Laramie. I'm talking the University of Wyoming. That is the epitome of a college town. And so I'm going to put Brookings close to this as well. Because if you talk Brookings, SDSU is the thing. Right? SDSU is the thing. And they have their own, the bar scene. I've heard about that. I'm not going to say too much about that. Careful. I've known people that go to SDSU and they have a good time. That's okay. So they have that going, and SDSU is the town. That's what Brookings is all about. SDSU, especially like game day. It's all jackrabbits all the time. Vermilion. I have traveled Vermilion numerous times. You drop by the Casey's. That's a highlight. You can drop. We're just having fun today. Vermilion is definitely a college town. It wouldn't be my number one. I already told you my number one's Wyoming. I have a history. I have a nostalgia. Laramie's just goes back to the day, and it's just one of those things. I'm going to tell you, from the game day environment to the whole state behind that go to that one town, and after a game and everybody's popping. I mean, it is just something. You don't just like get on an interstate or it's people driving through the one main street. It's off the charts. That's what you want. Special. Fan support. Coffee shops. I know Kearney likes coffee, so that's what you want. Let's see. My vote's Laramie. It's coming in second tonight. Brookings is winning our vote tonight. That's good. I like that. Let's see. Listener reaction. Brookings is the choice. Everything in that town is jackrabbits. Vermilion's bad. Oh, come on. That's spoken from a jackrabbit guy. I can tell where you're coming from. Ranking them, it is South Dakota State, Brookings all day. The whole town beats to the drum of the university, probably similar to Laramie. Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. It is similar, I think. I think it's similar. Smaller town, the university's there, huge game day support, a lot of spirit, community spirit behind SDSU, behind Wyoming. I'm going Laramie. And one thing we can all agree on, can we all agree on this? Outside of Kearney, Fargo's kind of not really a college town. I was going to invite your friend Mike McFeely on tonight so we could shoot it around, but he's golfing. So somebody has to work. You got to get Mike McFeely on here to stick up for Fargo because I don't think that's the college town vibe. Give me Laramie all day. I'm going with Brookings. I'll throw Vermilion in because USD fans say, hey, come on, respect, show some respect to Vermilion. Listener text coming in. Let's read some of these. 605-720-1067. Question of the day on the Nate Brown Show. If you haven't texted in, text me there. What would you rank your best college town? Not best town. Fargo's we have technology and healthcare. And I'm not talking town, okay? I'm not talking town. I'm talking best college town. Vermilion is the vote. Spearfish should also be listed here. Great outdoor scene. Yeah. I like Spearfish. Great town. Let's see. Listener text, what about Black Hill State and Spearfish? Another one. Well, I just can't quite put Spearfish up there. We're going D1 here. That's kind of, if you want the big game atmosphere and stuff like that, that's the only thing missing in Spearfish. Lister text, I rank it Brookings, Laramie, Vermilion, Fargo. I think that's okay for a South Dakota sports talk show. I go the other way. Laramie, Brookings, Vermilion, Fargo. That's my ranking. I have not experienced Fargo, so I need to do that so I can be knowledgeable and kind of give you some feedback. I'll go up there, and we'll see how this... We'll see if we can take the Nate Brown Show on the road. Wyoming's at Fargo. It's like October 3rd or something like that. So we're going to see if we can do that. Listener text, it's got to be Brookings. How about Lincoln, Nebraska? Yeah, that's a good call there, too. So I was kind of keeping it just, these smaller mid-major, the Wyoming, the NDSU, a couple of Mountain West, a couple of FCS, but... You do go Nebraska and Lincoln. I think that's big time. That's big time. Same thing over in Iowa. What about Iowa? What's the scene like over there? What do you think over there? Those college towns, those are okay, right? Ames, Iowa City, what do you think? Let's see. Lister text for the best college town, big boy college town, he said Madison, Wisconsin. All right. Madison, Wisconsin. He said flowing beer and flowing cheese curds. Now, that's my kind of town. I like that. Coming right back, we're going to see if we can track down Doug Ottewill, talk AFC West and more. A lot to cover tonight. Your best college town in this region. What would you vote? 605-720-1067.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked at the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Pay nothing until 2028. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
All right, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show getting going tonight across South Dakota. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and here on Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here tonight. Appreciate you. We'll go to the NFC West tonight. Going to get some NFC West hits. The Kyle Shanahan stories are really interesting. Bad accident there with him, and then he revealed he was at fault, and it was pretty secret before that. Kind of interesting. Eric Williams covering training camps for the Rams, Niners, Cardinals. Eric Williams on tonight, NFL writer, FoxSports.com. He's coming up. Craig Maddox going to pop in from Sioux Falls, South Dakota Public Broadcasting for our East River Meet West River segment. My question of the day, what's the best college town in this region? Brookings is winning the vote. I'm only giving you a few options there. I went Mountain West and I went Laramie. I'm talking college towns. Laramie. I went North Dakota State at Fargo. Brookings for South Dakota State. Vermilion for University of South Dakota. Laramie's coming in second. I just got a text, though, from a Colorado State guy. Can you believe this? I spot you from a mile away, you Colorado State guys. And he said, Laradice ain't it. Why you call it Laradice then? Doug Ottewell is on tonight from Denver. He's got some Colorado perspective on this. He is with Mile High Sports, one of our favorites over the years. I want to talk AFC West coming up, kind of get your read on Broncos, Raiders, Chiefs, Chargers, but best college town. So give me a Colorado perspective. Are we talking Boulder? What are we talking?
I like Boulder. I mean, Boulder's pretty tough to beat on when the team's good, and I think you kind of have. I mean, obviously, in Colorado, we've got a lot of times where none of the teams are good. But I think Boulder's, in my mind, the best college game day experience. I will say, though, CSU's new stadium is pretty awesome. The only thing about it, and they have the high school state championships there, too, which is really great. They do a great job with those. But the only thing that I question is that an ag school left the north end zone open.
Very interesting on that. So what
come out of the northwest.
Okay, yeah. They got to think a little bit. I'm sure that was down on their priority list. They were just trying to fundraise. They were just trying to get that thing done, Doug. By the way,
yeah.
Would you say Fort Collins? It's a pretty big city, man. I feel like it's not really a college town feel. Am I wrong?
It's much better now with the stadium on campus. When the stadium wasn't on campus, it was just like a, it was like a city with a stadium in the outskirts somewhere, just because the parking lot was big. But now that it's on campus, it feels like a college game day experience. Way closer to what Boulder has been all along. You know what I will say, though? Laramie is an awesome place for college sports.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's a great college town. I mean, that's all that's there. So, I mean, it really kind of checks the box or the definition. But I just love it. I mean, you watch a basketball game there, people are into it. Football, the only bad thing about football is a really cool stadium right there. Everything's right there. But it can be cold. It can be really, really cold. Basketball is a little kinder to you, but the atmosphere is the same for both.
I expect Doug Ottewill to pay respect to Laramie, Wyoming, and I expected that. I mean, I appreciate that from Doug Ottewill.
It's a great college town.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's my number one, but I got a long history. My brother played there and the whole thing. By the way, I'm going to Laradice September 11th, and they're playing Northern Colorado that weekend. Northern Colorado, you're going to take an early pick there. Northern Colorado at Wyoming?
Well, I would always pick Wyoming in that matchup, but Northern Colorado is just, they had a great run there when they were Division II, and they won a couple of national championships, I want to say late 90s, early 2000s. I have my dates off probably, but a great program. And then sometime, I want to say 2005, 2006, they decided we're going to go Division I. And they've just never been there. They've never been able to play at that level. And a couple of years ago, they had the Ed McCaffrey experience, and it just really failed. And they are a little bit on the bounce back. I feel like just, record doesn't show. I still think they won 2 games last year. But the word out, in this area is that at the very least, they've got a steady coaching staff, a qualified coaching staff, and they've got a decent number of return players coming back. So hopefully they're building something up there. But I would give your Pokes the win in that one.
Okay, that's good. That's why we're honoring the Hall of Fame team that I'm going down there for, is because the Pokes need a win that weekend. Who would have thought we'd preview Northern Colorado and Wyoming on the Nate Brown Show? It's quite something. Okay, let me ask you on this. AFC West, I want your breakdown. Training camps are underway. I'm going to go to the Raiders first. I just want your read on, here's the big debate. They're going with Kirk Cousins. He's taking the first team reps. I don't know if they're going to roll with Kirk and make this, have him roll the whole time. But I get the feeling they're going to slow roll Fernando Mendoza. Broncos didn't do that with Bo Nix. There's a lot of teams that don't do that. What do you do if you're the Raiders? You going with Cousins, or are you bringing Mendoza right up to speed now?
Well, I think you have to at least see what he's all about at camp, and if he's a true, top pick kind of player, then I think you got to go with him because, Kirk Cousins can win you a lot of games, but he can also get hurt in the second week because he's old, and I mean this is I think this is a pattern that we've seen with him. For the last 3 or 4 seasons. I mean, he gets dinged up. I mean, I think they're going to be they're that team that I think is the biggest kind of question mark, and it's not like, hey, they're going to be terrible. I think they have a lot of reasons to be optimistic there, as much as, we're not supposed to say that in Denver, but, you have a Mendoza that's got, in theory, some huge upper ceiling potential. But they've got guys. I mean, I'm blanking on the name. The running back from last year that was
Genty,
from Boise State. Yeah. I mean, they've got talent, and I think they've got some draft capital talent because they've picked so high in the last few years. I don't know. I think they could be good. I really, they might be a year away or something, but they could be one of those teams that comes in and surprises people a few times a year and winds up, kind of battling it out for a wild card spot. The problem is that you kind of say that about most teams in the division. So somebody's going to have to be last, but they may not be it. I mean, I kind of like the Raiders, at least on paper.
What type of guy are you? You have to play your rookie QB. This is our time. We just have to get him ready and going. Or you do it like the Chiefs did with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes. We've seen it work both ways. It's not like rookies haven't come in and play right away. I'm the guy that leans towards playing the guy that you picked.
I lean that way now, especially because the NFL salary cap rules kind of encourage you to do it, because you're better off to let a guy take his lumps so that he's still in his first year of that rookie contract And if you really got something, okay, so you throw a lot of picks. Okay, so you only win 6 games. Who cares? If he got the reps and you think you really have something, I mean, you can go back to Peyton Manning. I mean, Peyton Manning did not have a good rookie year, but he played, and, you know, obviously that turned out pretty well. You know, he had all the signs. So I think with a guy like Mendoza, I play him because you know that your future is not Kirk Cousins. I mean, unless your future is, you know, week 3, which I don't think it is. I mean, I don't think anybody associated with the Raiders thinks this is a Super Bowl team, but do they think, hey, we're a fringe playoff team right now, and if we got the guy at quarterback, you know, could we find that out this year and then add some stuff around him? I think that's kind of where they're at. They honestly kind of remind me of the Broncos when they picked Bo Nix. I mean, I don't know if those two guys are comparable yet or not. I think they kind of are because they both had a lot of experience.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of talent and arm speed and all those things, I mean, I really couldn't tell you. But I think the fact that the Broncos got to see what they had in Bo Nix, and you know, remember, Bo Nix's first game, he looked terrible. And everybody said, oh, man, what did we just do? And that could be the case, but at least you're finding out.
Yeah.
You know, I think when in this kind of salary cap situation where if you have the guy and he's good by year 3, it kind of gives you like a 3-year window to win a Super Bowl. If he's not, at least you know you can go back to the drawing board.
I want to roll with Mendoza if I'm the Raiders, and this is me as a Broncos fan. I'm just looking. If I'm the Raiders, I got to roll with him because you know the fans are going to be clamoring for him. I mean, Kirk Cousins, they don't care about Kirk. They're going to be wanting Mendoza, and I guess they say, well, I don't care what the fans want, but I got to get to business right now. I got some young guys around me. I got to get to work. Why don't you read on the Raiders? Let's go to the Broncos. Training camp underway. Do the Broncos get to 2 1,000-yard receivers? Waddle and Cortland Sutton, is this possible?
I think it's possible because I think Cortland Sutton is who he is. I mean, he's a great possession receiver. I believe he was the best, you know, third down receiver in all of football last year in terms of, you know, converting first downs. And he's extremely reliable. I mean, he just doesn't have drops. And he's Bo Nix's favorite target as of right this second anyway. I think, and this is kind of where, you know, your X's and O's guys can maybe prove me wrong or back me up, but the prevailing kind of theory that I've heard is that you get a guy like Jalen Waddle, and he could blow the top off of a defense. And those zones open up, and that's been one thing that's been talked about here pretty regularly. I guess, you know, some Pro Football Focus stuff came out not that long ago, and it had Bo Nix as the worst starting quarterback in the NFL against the zone. And I think part of the theory behind Waddle, and one of the reasons that Bo Nix is not good against his zone, A, is probably not his strength, but B, it's because when you don't have anybody that scares the top half of your secondary, those zones are smaller. Just, you know, the boxes are smaller, especially if you don't have a running back that keeps people honest, or you don't have a running game that keeps people honest. You know, your safeties can play up. They're not as afraid of getting beat over the top. You can, you know, cheat a little bit more with your linebackers because they're not a consistent run game. So the boxes or the windows that Bo Nix is thrown in have been relatively small when he's going up against his zone. So if you've got Jalen Waddle and he can possess that threat to at least expand the areas in which Bo Nix is going to be able to throw, I think that bodes well. And, you know, to answer your original question, I think if Bo Nix likes this situation and he connects with Waddle, I think that there is a chance that you get 2,000-yard guys.
Those are two nice players. Broncos added Jalen Waddle just underway. Broncos training camp. Cortland Sutton has been the number one. Now it's Waddle and Cortland Sutton for Bo Nix and the Broncos. Last one, take your pick. Who's better, the Chiefs or the Chargers? Come on now. Chiefs or Chargers this year?
I think the Chargers. I mean, number one, I'm not convinced that a guy like Patrick Mahomes can just bounce back in, what it'll be 8 months or something. I mean, it seems like a very, very aggressive timeline considering the severity of his injury. But I think people are excited Mahomes coming back. I mean, that's great. And I love Patrick Mahomes. As much as he's beaten up the Broncos over the years, he's a great player to watch. But I also think that people forget that the Chiefs were not very good last year, even before he was hurt.
You going Chargers? Doug Ottewill, Chargers? Okay.
Here's my rationale, too. I think you give me year 2 with Coach Harbaugh, and I think that's a good thing, too. I think he played such a different style and had kind of I don't know if you can call it a grace period or learning curve, whatever you want to call it, with getting to know how much or how little to rely on Justin Herbert. And I think by the end of the season, I felt like they kind of had that at least sorted out a little. So I think, it's less about personnel and more about let's see what Coach Harbaugh can do in year 2.
And
he's been successful everywhere he's been.
By the way, Mahomes is, as you say, a little shaky to start. So I will give you that. But understand, you're saying the Chargers, and you understand how risky that is. You know that, Doug Ottewill.
The Chargers will always Charger, which I do believe.
So be careful with that. But I got it. I get it. Mile High Sports from Denver, little AFC West preview, and best college town. He goes with Boulder, but he loves Laramie. So take that. Doug, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, you bet. Anytime, Nate.
See ya. Doug Ottewill on tonight from Denver, milehighsports.com. His best college town in Colorado, Boulder. Now, I have been there numerous times. And he loves Laramie. I'm going to have him go with Kearney and see if they can put in new streetlights to make it a little better. All right. Eric Williams is next, national NFL writer for FoxSports.com. What's his read on the Kyle Shanahan story? Pretty bad accident, but really it's what's happened in the coverage of it. Eric Williams coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Save big money on outdoor storage when you shop at Menards. Suncast sheds have the storage space you need for any backyard. Whether you're protecting bikes and toys or storing yard tools, Suncast's selection of easy-to-assemble sheds come in a variety of styles and sizes to fit your needs. Pick up an in-stock Suncast storage shed today and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
If you're grilling this weekend, be sure to have plenty of Village Hearth buns on hand. Fancy equipment and secret sauces are great, but once you've mastered the basics, it's all about the bun. Your perfectly grilled burgers and hot dogs deserve the best, and with several varieties to choose from, including unsliced old-fashioned, classic white or wheat, country potato, and mini sliders, the bakers of Village Hearth have the buns your family will love. Village Hearth buns, locally baked and delivered fresh daily.
Take your Deadwood stay to the next level at Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort. Choose Hampton by Hilton or 4 Points by Sheridan, both just steps from the Main Street action. Then play in our 24/7 casino, bet every buzzer beater at the BetMGM Sportsbook, and taste your way through 6 unique dining options. With non-stop events, next-level casino promotions, and everything under one roof on historic Main Street, plan your getaway at tinlizzie.com, where your getaway goes to the next level.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
If you think all shoe stores are the same, you haven't walked into Trav's Outfitter. We have the biggest selection of footwear anywhere. In fact, we dare you to compare. At Trav's, you don't have to sell yourself a pair of shoes. Our team helps you find the right fit for your lifestyle. We may be the newest name on the block in Rapid, but we've been in this game for over 40 years. Come find us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Imagine this, a bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, South Dakota Sports Talk Show, from high school to college to the pros, try and get you covered across the board. If you miss any parts of the show, from college sports debates, college sports guests, NFL, high school, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every show, every guest right there on Apple, on really wherever you get your podcast. We're on all the platforms, so just search the Nate Brown Show, and then you don't have to miss a show, miss a guest. You can look who's on, where are we at, and you can listen on demand. Search the Nate Brown Show wherever you get your podcasts and listen, rate us. We'd appreciate it. Eric Williams on tonight, covers the NFC West, the NFL, FoxSports.com, NFL writer. Eric, training camp underway. How are you?
What's going on, Nate? How you doing? I'm coming to you from 105-degree heat here in Arizona.
Oh, okay, so you're down in Arizona getting ready to start your tour. Okay, if you're in Arizona, that's a team everybody in, the fans are forgetting about. No Kyler Murray. They've struggled in a tough NFC West. Where's Arizona at here? Rebuild mode, it seems. Where are they at?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a chip on their shoulder when you talk to players here in the locker room. I think they feel like they have the pieces that are in place to be competitive, particularly on offense. They get Jacoby Brissett signed to a new deal, so he's going to be their starter for a second straight season. I talked to Jacoby a little bit. He told me this is the first time that he's going to get an opportunity to work with players for a second straight season and have that continuity, so that's a big deal for him. They have guys like Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr., Mike Wilson, James Conner. They have some pieces on offense to be explosive. It's just, is the defense going to be able to hold up and keep teams at bay in order for them to be able to compete in what I think is the best division in football in the NFC West?
Okay, Vikings fans up here in South Dakota want to know, why did the Vikings get Kyler Murray for the veteran minimum? Why did the Cardinals break up with Kyler Murray? I think it's probably pretty deep. There was injuries. Was it just time to move on? Why did they break up with Kyler?
I think you said it. I think it was just time to move on for both Kyler and the organization, that both needed a fresh start. I think that one of the main things for Kyler has always been leadership. And does he show enough leadership at the most important position in sports to command a team and to deal with adversity? You have to remember, when you look back at Kyler's career, he's had success at every level. He's one of the best players in the state of Texas history. He won a Heisman at Oklahoma, and then he came here and he was the the Rookie of the Year his first year when he got here, and then he had some struggles. And I think that was something new to him that he'd never went through in his, athletic career. And so now he's learning how to respond from that. So this year is really important and critical for him to show up and show kind of what he has said, like who he really is as a player and an athlete.
Eric Williams on tonight. He's from Arizona Cardinals training camp tonight. He's getting set to head around the NFC West. Follow him at EWNFL22. He's on X there and FoxSports.com. You said the NFC West you think is the best division. So people would argue, is it the NFC West? Is it the NFC North? People think the North is packed. Why is it the NFC West?
Well, I think if you go back to last playoffs, the NFC Championship game was the Rams and the Seahawks, and really that was, for all intents purposes, the Super Bowl, because you saw what happened in that game. The Seahawks thoroughly dominated the Patriots. The Rams beat the NFC North's best team, I think, in Chicago last year, and the Seahawks played the Niners in the NFC divisional game. So you had, three of the teams from the NFC West that were the final 8 teams in the postseason, and all three of those teams returned the majority of their foundational players. And so it seems like, the Super Bowl is going to run through this division. Obviously, Myles Garrett comes to the Rams in a trade. Aaron Donald might come out of retirement. I think that's probably going to happen. And, oh, by the way, the Rams make a trade for, Trent McDuffie and sign Jalen Watson, so their secondary is much improved.
Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie, Rams stacking it. Seahawks are kind of, the Super Bowl champs, Eric, and I feel like everybody's going to say again, well, one of these times Sam Darnold's going to go back to what he was. So he had his best season as a Viking. Then he had a great season for the Seahawks. Does he do it again?
Yeah, I think at some point we're just going to have to acknowledge that Sam Darnold is pretty good at football. That's kind of where I'm landed right now. And I think he's in a great situation because he doesn't have to go out there and throw for 1 million yards. This is an offense that's predicated on running the football. Even though they have a new offense coordinator in Brian Fleury and they lost Kenneth Walker in free agency to the Chiefs, they did draft Jarian Price in the first round out of Notre Dame. He's probably going to be their number one back, their Bill Cal guy, and they're going to continue to have balance offensively. I think the other thing that people probably aren't thinking about enough is this is going to be the second year that Sam gets to run that offense. They're going to run the same stuff that they did last year. He's going to continue to develop a rapport with JSN and the rest of those offensive playmakers. So there's a possibility he could be even better, this year, coming back into that system and having a full off season to work with everybody.
NFC West NFL reporter, FoxSports.com. It's Eric Williams tonight on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Big story, Eric, off the field. It's that Kyle Shanahan accident. Yeah. So it sounds like it's a bad accident. And then people have turned into, hey, this didn't get found out about till 10 days after. So you've been in the media a while. I'm in the South Dakota media. There's things sometimes that maybe people hear about or something. People think it turns into, well, the Fighter 49ers didn't want this out, so they kept it secret. Were you surprised it took 10 days?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think it just kind of speaks to where we're at in today's media. I think 20 years ago, when there were more local reporters reporting on what was happening locally, you had more people checking reports on a daily basis, and maybe people would have found out about this earlier just from your local cost reporter checking reports and looking for those familiar names. And so you've kind of lost that layer of reporting locally with all of the newspapers laying off from reporters. And then, as a person that covers the league nationally, part of getting information is kind of the back and forth that you go through with sourcing. And then you also want to make sure that your reporting is buttoned up and you have, multiple people telling you what's happening. So I think it's kind of all of those things working in combination that led to this news not getting out until 11 days after it happened.
Yeah, that's interesting. And people say, well, how big of a deal is this? I look at it on two sides of it. Kyle Shanahan, the injuries, and is he going to be out here? And does that impact the 49ers in a big way? And then how big of a deal is it that the 49ers didn't report this to the public? Twofold there.
I think it's a big deal that they waited this long. I think it was an error on their part. I understand why they did it. They wanted to make sure that Kyle was comfortable with everything that had happened, and maybe on their part, they wanted to make sure that they were buttoned up before, getting this out there, and maybe didn't want to create a distraction during the off season. So I could understand from the organization's perspective wanting to hold off. But, I think if you're a reporter or a person that knows it, you always want to report news as soon as you know it and let people know what's happened. So it will be interesting to see the fallout of it moving forward and how people react to it as we continue to go into training camp.
I do want to think, does he come back when? Do we have an idea for that?
He's already been out at practice, at least for the first portions of practice, watching and observing. But he hasn't been, engaged in terms of coaching out in the field. I think they're going to take their time, and they have a very veteran staff there. Raheem Morris, their defensive coordinator, has been a head coach. So they'll let the other assistants kind of handle that part of it. And then I think when he's fully healthy, he is dealing with a concussion, so I think that's kind of part of it. Then he'll be out there coaching, and we'll see what the ramifications are in terms of wins and losses once you get to the regular season.
Eric Williams from Cardinals training camp, just getting started. NFL, NFC West from FoxSports.com's Eric Williams on the Nate Brown Show tonight. He says the best division in football, the NFC West. Eric, good to have you, man. We'll do it again. I appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, Nate. Have a good one.
Thanks a lot. Eric Williams, great writer, FoxSports.com, national NFL writer tonight from Arizona Cardinals training camp, just getting his coverage started as training camps launch this week. All right, interesting stuff. The Kyle Shanahan thing's interesting. I see that we're going to address that in 5 questions from Chris tonight. I don't predetermine my answers. I just want everybody to understand that, but I got to get a feeling for what's on Chris's mind. I mean, the guy has some interesting thoughts, so I got to get ready for that. So we'll get into that later. 5 questions from Chris coming up tonight. All right, I have a update on best college town in the region. That's my question of the day. So throw that in if you want to answer the question of the day, 605-720-1067. Best college town in the region, not town, the best college town. They support game day. The college is the community. There's Jackrabbit stuff everywhere in Brookings, right? The Yotes in Vermilion, Wyoming in Laramie, NDSU in Fargo. Out of the 4 that I told you, which is the best college town? I have somebody that's been to all 4 towns. He just texted in. He's been to all 4 towns. I have not been to all 4. I've been to 3. I haven't been to Fargo. I got to get up there. But he told me what the best college game day experience is. That's what he just told me. We will get to that coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked to the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. Pay nothing until 2028. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit RVARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
No worries. Let the ASE certified pros at Al's D&I pamper your pride and joy. Foreign or domestic, maintenance or repair. Doesn't matter if it requires special parts or tools or if its owner's manual is in another language. At Al's D&I, we don't care where your ride's from, but we do take great care to treat your ride like it is our own. Drive on in to Al's D&I, Sturgis Road, and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Hey, thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show live, Fox Sports Radio. You found us, KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. Getting set for the second hour. Craig Maddox on tap tonight. East River meets West River for the weekly hitter, Craig Maddox. What's on Craig's mind tonight? We shall find out. SDPB Sports, longtime South Dakota broadcaster. I want to know what's on your mind if you would rank the best college town in the region. We're getting votes. We got an Aberdeen vote for Northern State. It said small, but great support there. So I think we're kind of crossing things here. Like we're saying best college town, like best places to go, best places to do, best places. And then there's game day support and fan support. I'm going to tell you, Northern State for a D2, really good fan support. Really excellent fan support. So maybe that's what you're pointing out. I have somebody that has been to all 4 towns in our ranking tonight. Best college town in the region. We're asking you, is it Fargo, Brookings, Vermilion, or Laramie, Wyoming? A couple of Mountain West schools, a couple of FCS schools. And listener text, he says, I've been to all 4 towns, Nate. When it comes to stadiums, the best stadium for the game, University of Wyoming. University of Wyoming. Well, he went best stadium, and even Matt Kearney said it's a great stadium. I mean, Kearney's trying to throw Laramie under the bus, but he said it's a great stadium, and that is correct. Let's see. Lister text, I'm surprised, Nate, you didn't pick a Montana school like Bozeman or Missoula. Well, Bozeman's like uppity, so you got to have at least $1 million to even go. No, I'm kidding. But Bozeman, nice town. I've been to Bozeman numerous times. Changed a lot over the years. It's a nice town. It's a Montana State. Yeah, there's a lot of support for the Bobcats. It's great. It is. Missoula's right up there, too. It's a great town, beautiful setting. Grizz, I mean, just not a better fan base, I don't think, still in the FCS. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't been to a Grizz game in Missoula, that is the FCS standard. That is the top for FCS. So I think Missoula, that's tough for me. Missoula or Bozeman, not quite the charm as Laramie of the High Plains. Let's see. I want to ask this question. What are the results here? I want to go on X and find out what are the results of the question of the day. I'm not talking about the best town, but I'm asking you which is the best college town tonight in the region. Brookings, Fargo, Vermilion, or Laramie. 49% still voting Brookings. 318 votes today. 318 votes. Brookings getting 49% of the vote. 30% of the vote to Laramie. Laradice coming in second. Fargo's coming in third. Vermilion coming in fourth. I have a topic here with USD in mind. So I was just seeing a USD fan say that they're okay with USD where they're at. I just saw this today, that they're okay with where USD is at, meaning the level of play, because there's all this talk over the last 6 months. NDSU's going to the Mountain West, and who's going to be left behind? Who's going to join them? Can South Dakota State go? What about USD? So USD, this USD fan said, I'm okay with where we're at. I like where we're at in the FCS. What do you think? Do you think USD would be okay with staying and South Dakota State leaving? That's what I'm kind of breaking down tonight. I thought about this afternoon when I saw it. Is it okay to think, hey, SDSU's a little bit ahead in fundraising. They've been ahead. They're ahead in facilities. USD's coming along. The guys are putting in work. There's no doubt. But SDSU is ahead in success in all of in the categories you need. Money, support. So is it okay if SDSU went to the Mountain West and USD stayed where they're at? Do you think that flies with the fan base? That's what happened prior when they jumped D2, right? So that happened prior, and I know people get wound up about that. So I'm starting to just be realistic. Like, is South Dakota State more ready? Would they go FBS and USD stay? I think you'd have a lot of people fired up over that. I know USD fans might say, well, we're good here, and we haven't had as much winning and stuff, so they want to win. And I think USD is rising. But I still don't think you could do the, hey, the Jackrabbits are going to go like NDSU, and USD is going to stay. But look, they just did it in North Dakota. Are people all upset about that up there? You tell me, guys. Is everybody upset that NDSU went and UND's still FCS football? I don't know. Maybe they are. But I thought about it. Is it possible for SDSU and USD to separate, one go FBS, the other stay FCS? It sounds possible, and then I take a step back and I go, I don't know if South Dakota would go for that. Would the Board of Regents go for that? I mean, that really messes up that whole scenario. So what about Montana State? Speaking of Bozeman and Missoula, what about Montana State and Montana? They're tied together, but people are saying Montana State's a little bit more ready to go FBS. Montana State's a little more ready. Well, you think the Bobcats would go and the Grizz would stay FCS? I believe, coming from the state of Montana, where I grew up, they would not let that go. So the Grizz would they would fight their way to FBS if it meant debt and whatever else. The Grizz would not let the Cats get ahead of them to the FBS. Not even close. So would we have that same fight on our hands with the Yotes saying, hey, the Jacks aren't going to go without us? It's an interesting scenario that may play out over the next, over the next few years. It might. That's going to still be talked about with NDSU jumping. Is South Dakota State in the mix? Is USD going to get in the mix? Let's come back on the Nate Brown Show with 5 questions from Chris. Our loyal listener, Chris, sends me 5. It's always great. I'll do my best next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Certified Honda value has never looked better at Danny Manuel Rushmore Honda. Take advantage of 1.99% APR financing on select Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs. That's 1.99% APR financing on our Honda certified pre-owned. Shop a huge selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs with over 370 to choose from. Drive with certified confidence at Danny Manuel Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Like the finance contract is limited with qualified credit, expires 7/31/26.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards. Find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
Chatting with Brian at Anytime Auto Sales. The hot weather, well, it's here. It sure is. And we're here for all your hot summer automotive needs. Get an AC recharge and fill for most vehicles from $229. The best brake deal around at just $399 per axle with new pads, rotors, labor, and a lifetime warranty for most vehicles as long as you own the rig. And I'll say it again, that's one incredible brake deal. Yes, sir, we're here to take care of all of your automotive needs. So from oil changes, batteries and tires, to cooling systems, to AC charges and repairs, basically any other automotive repair, we're your answer. Nothing like one-stop shopping. That's our goal. Plus, we carry over 50 brand name tires and have deals as good as anywhere. So come see us to keep living a happy and affordable motoring life. Anytime Auto Sales, service and detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASC certified automotive repair specialist. See anytime.com. And of course, at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota, Rapid City.
Anytime Auto Sales. One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show, second hour, ready to roll. Glad you're here. Hope you're having a great day. Wednesday edition of the program. It is the Nate Brown Show Live, where it is always a great day in South Dakota. We are on KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Our next guest is Craig Maddock. Popping in, we're ready to go with Craig Maddock, longtime Sioux Falls broadcaster, SDPB Sports. A lot to discuss, including our question of the day. Keep them coming. Your votes are needed. Best college town in the region. Best college town. I selected 2 Mountain West and 2 FCS. We got to go Vermilion Brookings and Fargo, Laramie, Wyoming. Right now, Brookings is winning in a pretty big vote. Brookings, 49%. Laramie, 30%. Fargo, 11%. Vermilion, 10%. Can we give Vermilion a little more love here? Can we give Vermilion a little more love? Got some more votes for Aberdeen, for Northern State coming in. Vermilion coming in close with Fargo, but if you want to vote, find us on X at Nate Brown Show. We are there live right now on this program. Stream us live. Follow the show at Nate Brown Show. Vote in our question of the day and hit us on the Barron's Wilson text line. Your votes, 605-720-1067. Before we get to Craig Maddock, you know what we got going on a Wednesday? Here we go.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
All right, Chris, we're ready. 5 questions from Chris. Question number 1. And by the way, is this your first time you've heard 5 questions from Chris? Chris is a loyal listener to the Nate Brown Show going back how many years? 9 years, Chris? Have you been with us from the start, Chris? Well, let's see. And he sends me 5 questions. There you have it. Question number 1. Nate, news broke with 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan in a severe car accident. Turns out the crash happened, but then 10 days it took to report it. NFL reporters have faced what some call ethics issues this offseason from reporter-coach scandals and now delayed reporting. Given the NFL's ownership stake in ESPN, do you think that's playing a role in suppressing coverage the league might not like? I do not think so, Chris. So here's how this happens. Chris. I'm not like an expert, but here's what's going on. 49ers reporters, they need access to the 49ers. They don't want to tick anybody off with the 49ers. And so when they heard about this, the 49ers, I would guess, told them, here's what's happened. Let's keep this under wraps. So we appreciate it, guys. And then the 49er reporters are like, what do I do here? I'm just telling you because, for example, when you have relationships, you have to play it smart. Are you going to burn a bridge? Are you going to throw this out and you're not totally sure if you should throw it out? It's not the NFL and the ESPN stuff. It's access, relationships, and yes, I'm still saying that you're partly right here, Chris. There's reporters that I think probably knew there's something that happened here with Kyle Shanahan. Somebody or some people knew this. They didn't throw it out. That's what happens, and this happens all the time. It happens with South Dakota State, USD. I'm just telling you, it happens with reporters in South Dakota to San Francisco. That's why. They're trying to protect their access. Question number 2. Major League Baseball's trade deadline coming up Monday. Do you expect any blockbuster deals like Skubal getting moved from the Tigers, or will most teams stand pat? I don't know. I've been watching this. It doesn't sound like there's going to be a massive deal. The MLB trade deadline has provided some big stars getting shipped places, and then you're like, oh, that's a big addition there, and this team's going to go on a run. They've done that. I've talked to Major League Baseball guys just the last couple of weeks, and they're kind of iffy on, like, huge deals. But, like, Skubal getting moved, somebody needs a big-time starter. That might happen, but a ton of moves, MLB trade deadline, I'm just not so sure. It's coming up Monday night. Question number 3. LeBron James going to the 76ers. Do you think Philadelphia has a real shot at reaching the NBA Finals? They got to get through the East to do that. I do think they have a real shot. I have never been a big believer in Joel Embiid. I don't love what I see from Jaylen Brown. He can't go left. He looks like a 6th grader trying to dribble left at an AAU tournament. I mean, he is strong right-handed. So I'm not a huge Joel Embiid guy, not a huge Jaylen Brown guy. Like Tyrese Maxey, LeBron is good. He's not like LeBron of old. We know that. They have a real shot. Yeah, they do. They'll be making a run in the playoffs. I don't think they'll get to the NBA Finals. Not enough from those guys that I'm just not a huge fan of. Big names, not a huge fan. I do not think the 76ers go to the NBA Finals is your answer. Final answer in the books. Question number 4. What do you think of Patrick Mahomes expecting to be healthy for week 1? Does that change how you see Denver finishing in the division if Mahomes is healthy right off the bat? I was watching the video of Mahomes early this week. And looks like he's walking and planting gingerly. I'm not so sure Mahomes is going to be full go. He's going to play because they're saying, oh, Mahomes now expected to be healthy. He's going to play. He's going to play. I like my Broncos' chances against Mahomes because that's week 1. That's week 1. I do not believe the Mahomes is going to scare my Broncos. The Chiefs and Mahomes are good. They took a step back, and that injury is not something to mess around with. I do not know if Mahomes hits his stride right away. I really don't. Question number 5. Among Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson, which quarterback's under the most pressure to make a deep playoff run? Unfortunately, it's my boy, Josh Allen. I know Joe Burrow, they expected, he should do it. And Lamar Jackson's been under pressure, and he's just failed lately. Josh Allen is under the pressure. We've just been waiting and waiting and waiting. It's the Bills now. Now it's the Bills. This year it's going to be the Bills. Josh got knocked down by my Broncos last year. It's Josh Allen under the pressure to make a deep playoff run. He's running out of time. 5 questions from Chris. That's it. Back with Craig Maddock, SDPB Sports, live from Sioux Falls next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Serious DIYers know when it comes to brake jobs, quality matters. Now through August 31st, buy a set of Perfect Stop brake pads at your local Auto Value Parts store and receive a free can of brake cleaner. Perfect Stop brake pads are engineered to restore optimal braking performance while delivering quiet, dependable stopping power. Stop by your local Auto Value Parts store today, where we've got the parts, we've got the smarts, and your free can of brake cleaner too.
The action doesn't stop when the game starts.
Back at the wall! Tie game!
Wager Sportsbook and Grill is now open at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort, serving crave-worthy eats, ice-cold drinks, and non-stop energy. Dig into wings, smash burgers, and loaded bowls, then get in on the action at the BetMGM Sportsbook. Bet big, eat well, and catch every play from the front row. Learn more at CadillacJacksGaming.com. Every bite, every play, Wagers delivers.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A heat advisory continues until 7 p.m. tonight. Chance for storms tonight, otherwise cloudy skies. Lows dip down to about 68. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun tomorrow. Slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 89. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 95.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at DakotaDiscountRV.com.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty, and they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
And 200, 2 and a quarter, 2 to the bid, 1 bomb, VP, want to get 200 VP here, no 75, 275, now 3.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson Auction Company. We can turn your property to cash. We can sell your personal property and your real estate at auction. A family business for 64 years and counting. We've sold several millions of dollars in property over the years. We're happy to consult with you on your auction plans. Let our selling experience work for you. Call McPherson Auction, 605-348-1369. Visit us on our web at McPhersonAuction.com.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show's on tonight, Wednesday edition of the program. It's time for East River Meets West River, a weekly segment with Craig Maddock on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. He is with SDPB Sports. Craig Maddock, you're going to keep going with SDPB Sports. You do a great job. SDPB Sports with Craig Maddock. It's just synonymous. You're just gonna be the guy announcing these games till the end of time. Do I have that right? You're back for another year.
Well, I am signed for another year. I believe it's year 27. I kind of lost track.
Wow.
Yeah.
Year
I only have 10 fingers, so I can only go so far.
I love it. We look forward to it. Another high school sports season is coming. Practices for starting for some of the fall sports starting up next week. Can you believe that? Can you believe that?
Yeah, we've only got 2 days of summer left because August 1st on Saturday, and that just changes everybody psychologically, especially the fall sports with volleyball, even cross country, soccer, football. I mean, things really ramp up. I've been to driven around the area recently. Of course, the marching bands, they're doing their work right now. They're practicing, so it's crazy. It is going to be full steam ahead for the fall here, not too far away.
My daughters are playing high school soccer, and they're starting practice next week. And I'm sitting here. I'm going to be going to games mid-August. I mean, it feels like it's like, man, there's no summer. It's high school sports season. So we're getting geared up and ready. We'll get into that. I do want to ask your answer here. It's my question of the day. This is a big one today. What is the best college town in the region out of these four? I went Mountain West and I went FCS. Brookings, Vermilion, Fargo, or Laramie, Wyoming. College town, Craig Maddock. You tell me.
But I don't know a lot about Laramie, but I know they love the Cowboys out there.
Yes.
But I think I'd have to go Fargo.
What?
Yeah, I think I'd have to go Fargo, especially on games that really matter for NDSU. I mean, if they're playing in the past, most of the other Missouri Valley teams, I mean, they whooped them up by 40. Kind of hard to get excited about that. But when the Coyotes or the Jacks come to town, things got a little bit crazy up there in Fargo. So
okay.
I'm thinking Fargo, followed by SDSU.
Wow, okay. I thought you were just playing both sides of the fence because you didn't want to tick off the Yotes or the Jacks. So I thought you were like, well, so our number one vote getter tonight is Brookings. Brookings has a college town. You say it's okay?
The Jack fans love their Jacks. There's no doubt about it.
Yes,
but the level is a little higher in Fargo with the Bison fans.
Very interesting. My vote is Laramie. My brother played football at Wyoming. You know my story. So I went there 3 years in a row, every other Saturday. Laramie is an acquired taste, Craig. I think you would like it. A little cold.
I think I would too. I'd love to be up in the mountains and have a good old time with the Cowboys.
Yeah,
it'd be fun.
Okay, well, we'll see if you can ever get there. Craig Maddock on tonight. Brookings is leading our vote in the best college town. Laramie's coming in second, and he goes with Fargo, the enemy, North Dakota State.
The Fargo isn't my favorite town. I'm just telling you what town is hip and happening when they're playing football.
Okay, I understand. Right. Let me ask you this question. Legion Baseball Tournament is going on right now in Rapid City. Post 320 plays Sioux Falls West right now this afternoon, and Post 22 plays tonight against Brookings. So they're on a collision course here, two Rapid City teams. We'll see. I hear Sioux Falls West is really good. Here's what's going on. Some of these teams have players that have come back from college, or they played at another team, and then they came back for their Legion team. Some of these guys are 19. This has been a long Legion baseball rule. Hey, we're going to let this go depending on your birthday. You get to play till you're 19. People are debating if that rule should stay or change. What's your feeling on 19-year-olds coming back playing here in the state tournament?
I kind of think it should be the class that you were in. that determines whether you're in or out. Once you've graduated, you're still in. Okay, I still think you're still in until the season is over. So if you're an 18-year-old, a senior, and you graduate, and the day after you graduate you turn 19, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
As long as it's the same season.
Okay, so you kind of meet in the middle there a little bit. Some people think, well, we shouldn't have, you shouldn't be going to play a college year and then come back and play. Do you think that's right?
No, I don't think that should be allowed.
Okay. We are seeing that. Some of the teams do have some older guys. We'll see how this plays out coming up. Some of the quarterfinals games tonight. Fitzgerald Stadium in Rapid City. Should this be the host of Legion Baseball? Is Rapid City's the king of Legion Baseball? So should we host it every year like Sioux Falls wants stuff?
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Whoa.
I mean, the atmosphere is great. I mean, it's great. Maybe we do like we used to do with track and field. 2 years in Rapid, 1 year Sioux Falls.
Wow.
2 years in Rapid, 1 year in Huron, 2 years in Rapid, 2 years in Watertown.
Okay.
Move them around.
All right. Interesting. Watertown had it last year, and they did a good job. I will say that. Historic stadium. They did a good job. I do see Sioux Falls is on the list to host the state softball championships coming up at the Sanford complex. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's been in the works for the last couple of years. The AA tournament has been at Augustana the last 2 years, while the A and Bs were in Aberdeen. And you know what? Facility-wise, it's just going to be a little better. It's going to be better, and especially with the SDPB, doing the games, it's going to be a little easier for them to be in basically one location, but two fields instead of two different locations in in Aberdeen to do the A and the B softball. So it's a great complex. I know there's not much dirt there, not much grass. It's all turf. But you know what? Players like it, and it'll be a good atmosphere for those teams coming to Sioux Falls.
State softball going to the Sanford complex. Those fields have been great. Parking's a little dicey. I hate to break it to you, but parking's
get there early.
Okay, need a little more space, but nice facility. I will say that. State softball going to the Sanford complex. I got to ask you, if you're a Legion baseball player right now in South Dakota, people still think, hey, Legion's still the thing. 101 years old. Legion baseball started in South Dakota. It will always be the thing. I asked my audience this week, in 10 years, if you're a serious baseball player in South Dakota, what are you playing? Legion, club, showcase, or high school? 10 years from now.
I'll pick Legion. I'll pick Legion ball.
You will.
There's a lot of history with it. High school ball, does compete a little bit in the fall, but you would certainly love to see baseball sanctioned.
I would.
That's going to have to get the blessing of Legion Ball before that happens.
So you still think Legion hangs on in 10 years in South Dakota as the league for a player?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really do.
I'm actually with you on this. What do you think of the club travel scene? People said this is exploding in all the other sports, basketball, volleyball, soccer. Baseball is there, too. You got to get on a club team, they think, to get recruited by colleges. You still think that's going to be a big thing?
No, it probably will still be around. I mean, it's been around a long time. I mean, you got to go back way even before. You remember the Dusty Coleman of Sioux Falls O'Gorman, a great player.
Yes.
Eventually played Major League Ball, but you know what? He was on a traveling team. He wasn't involved with anything else. He was on a traveling team, and a lot of people didn't like that. But you know what? It worked for him, and I think it's still going to be around. I still think Legion Ball is going to be much more of a thing for baseball players. If you're good enough in the Legion program, college coaches are going to find you.
Okay.
It's not like nobody checks in with coaches. It's coaches and the Legion coaches and the college coaches. There's contact and communication between them. If Post 320 has a pretty darn good first baseman, that person will be found out.
I agree with you
on the college level.
I do agree with you. I really do. I think Legion's still going to be a big thing in 10 years. People have been saying it's declining, and it has around the country. In this part of the country, upper Midwest here, still big. State Legion baseball going on right now in Rapid City. Craig Maddox on tonight from SDPB Sports. Last one, Craig. I'm asking tough ones tonight. Speaking of the Mountain West, North Dakota State jumped. People think, is South Dakota State going to get there? Do you think it's possible for SDSU to separate and go FBS and USD would stay FCS? Do you think that's possible?
I do. I think that is possible. I think that there is money that, you got to have money if you're going to move on to the next level. I think SDSU would have it. I think the Coyotes, they struggle at times with support. They've been struggling with attendance for the last few years. For some reason, the Coyotes are not at that next level. I think SDSU, if they want to and if they work hard at it, they could get in. But I think they're going to check it out, but I don't know if they're going to want to move on to that next level.
So you believe, though, they could, this state would say, yeah, SDSU could go and USD could wait. There was a USD fan who I was watching online, and he said, I'm happy being FCS. So some of the USD folks may be happy staying FCS and trying to win there. So you think they could separate?
Well, plus there are a number of Jack fans who say, hey, if the Bison can go, we can do it.
Yeah.
They won national championships. Jack's won national championships. If the Bison are moving up, well, Jack fans think, yeah, we can do it too.
Okay, I want your broadcasting expertise, Craig Maddox. You've been in the game long time. I just said you're coming back, SDPB, 27 years, you think. By the way, you better go to the records on that. There's big changes coming to TV market in Rapid City. I don't know if you saw this. So Kelloland has been on as the CBS affiliate in Rapid City since 1988. There's going to be a big shift here. Kelloland is going to stay on in Sioux Falls with CBS. You guys are fine. East River, Sioux Falls, fine. In Rapid City, Western South Dakota, Kelloland's going to not have CBS. The KCLO is going to have the CW. CBS programming's moving to a sub-channel of Forum Communications out here, of KNBN. It seems so odd to me. It's like Kelloland News. It sounds like they're going to try and keep it on, maybe a sub-channel in Rapid City. How important do you think that is for a Kelloland News product to be on in Western South Dakota? It's been on forever.
Yeah, that surprised me too. The changes that they're making. I don't have any inside work on what they're trying to do, but that surprised me too. It would seem to me that Kello has been the name in news for decades all around here. I mean, their ratings have been astronomical, and but apparently they see something different in Rapid City. So let's see what happens. I'll have to follow that one.
I am too, because it looks like the NFL on CBS, my Denver Broncos are aired in Rapid City most of the time, and it looks like they're going to shift off of KELOLAND. They would shift off of KELOLAND. So how many people are going to call KELOLAND on the first Broncos game? Craig, you know this happens. How many people are going to call KELOLAND and say, "Where are the Broncos?"
Let me just help you with this. There's nobody answering the phone, so don't even try calling, because there's nobody there on weekends. Okay?
Well,
don't worry about it.
I just want to get the voicemails and see if I can turn them into content on the show, because the voicemails.
Well, it'll be on Facebook and X. People do a lot more on social media than trying to call the retired secretary down at KELOLAND Television.
Well, we'll see. This is going to be a treat. Big changes, interesting changes, kind of some inside baseball there. Craig Maddock tonight, SDPB Sports. We're getting ready for high school sports, Craig. We'll do it again. Thanks a lot.
All right. See you, Nate.
Thanks a lot. Craig Maddock tonight, SDPB Sports on East River meets West River with Craig Maddock on the Nate Brown Show. Now, it's if you haven't followed that, it's going to change August 1st. That's this weekend. So, this kind of a big deal. This is for Western South Dakota listeners. We're on in both markets here. So, East River, Sioux Falls, KELOLAND is going to be KELOLAND. CBS, the whole thing, that's it. But they're having to go through changes. It's going to be CW now airing on the KELOLAND station, which is KCLO in Rapid City, in that market. And so that means what happens to the KELOLAND news? Well, are they going to run on? It sounds like they're putting things together, and we've seen some social media stuff, and they have a dedicated online link for KCLO, and I just think you got to have the KELOLAND news on in the Rapid City market, some way, somehow, and it sounds like they're going to do that maybe on a sub-channel, though. So it's just interesting that all these changes are happening. We don't for sure know exactly what's going to be where. But I do know the Denver Broncos will not be on KELOLAND in Western South Dakota, which is KCLO. So the Broncos games are going to be on the sub-channel of KNBN. That's what it looks like to me. CBS programs is going to be over there. So I'm just trying to give a PSA to Uncle Lonnie, who's been a Broncos fan like me, and he's like, where's the Broncos and the Chargers? They're going to be on the sub-channel, and then you're going to have to find out. Just tune that in, 21.2, okay? And then people that stream, like Matt Kearney, I guess he'll find out later. He'll find out where those games are going to be later. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, Lincoln Riley making headlines at Big Ten Media Days. He's talking about the college football playoff. What does he want to see in the college football playoff? Lincoln Riley, some interesting comments today coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing provides your home with the best protection from wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors to enhance your home's appearance. Available in cut-to-length panels that cover a large area for fast installation. Shop our selection of roofing products today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
Since 1928, Connect Home Center has been proud to serve Rapid City and Spearfish with quality products and customer service that you can trust. In 2000, Connect joined the Mead Lumber family, and now they're taking the next step into their journey. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name from design to finish. Mead Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadLumber.com.
Do you have constant constipation, diarrhea, or heartburn? Those symptoms aren't normal. At Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic, we can help you find lasting relief with personalized care. Our digestive health experts treat a wide range of concerns, including stomach pain, Crohn's disease, and acid reflux. We can also help with important preventive care like regular colonoscopies. Our growing team is available close to home in Rapid City, and we're accepting new patients. Visit sanfordhealth.org for total digestive care.
Rev up your summer with the Stars, Stripes, and Savings event at Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Just announced employee pricing for everyone on new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500, plus 0% financing for well-qualified buyers. Need heavy-duty power? Get into a new GMC Sierra HD and save up to $3,000. Looking for the perfect SUV? We've got an incredible selection of Terrain, Acadia, Yukon, and Yukon XL ready to roll. Don't wait. Shop anytime at spearfishmotors.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
If you're a business owner, you've invested your blood, sweat, and tears into your business. Long days, sleepless nights, all to build something that matters. But what if something happened to you tomorrow? What happens to everything you've built? Do you have a plan? Does your family have a plan? Contact Lee Cruz with New York Life right here in Rapid City. There are affordable options you maybe haven't considered. Just spend 15 minutes protecting what took you years to build. Call Lee Cruz, 605-360-8804, or Google Lee Cruz New York Life.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their number one priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Hey, thanks for listening today. Appreciate you being a part of the program. You guys make a difference. Our sponsors all across South Dakota, we appreciate you making this show possible. And thanks for tuning in live to The Nate Brown Show. Go to the podcast, The Nate Brown Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. We appreciate you subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you're listening right now, you say, hey, you're on YouTube? Yeah, we are. We'd appreciate you subscribing. Go to youtube.com, The Nate Brown Show. And you've got this show live and all the archive shows there. And we're live in studio on X. Stream us on X. If you have an account on X, follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. Thanks for being here on Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. Let's see. Lincoln Riley was talking at Big Ten Media Days, and so this maybe isn't a surprise, but he's talking about all the coaches are in agreement on what to do with the college football playoff. Oh, enlighten me, Lincoln. What do the coaches want for the college football playoff? Are we going to keep it at 12? Are we going to go to 16? What do the coaches want? He said, when you get a room of 50 coaches or whatever, it's hard to get everybody unanimous on something, but we are unanimous. So he's saying, we got all these coaches. What do they want to do with the college football playoff? What do you think? He said they want to go to 24 teams. Well, here's what I got to tell you. I'm a coach. I make the playoff. It's a feather in my cap. It kind of helps me out. So this is an easy one. This is not like, he said, when you get 50 coaches that are unanimous on something, I mean, that's tough to do, except for when it serves their interest. So he explained, though, he has some reasoning for this. He says college football is behind on the pro sports stuff where, Like in pro sports, they have a better playoff. They expanded their playoff in the NFL. Extra wild card. They expanded the playoff in Major League Baseball. More wild card. So he said college football is behind on the pro sports size of playoff. So he said when you look at it, going to 24 teams out of all these teams that are in there, we should do that. He said it will be a little more like the NFL. People care about who wins the Super Bowl. So it'll be a little more like the NFL. He said we got to get to 24 teams and 50 coaches. Everybody's unanimous. I understand. He's saying, hey, the coaches want it, so let's do this. And I'm trying to. This is the fans who say they don't want this. But in the long run, is everybody really going to get upset when there's a 2014 playoff? Well, maybe, because why? What are you looking forward to here in September? Texas, Ohio State. So some of these huge games. I look forward to every college football Saturday. Every Saturday. And so you look forward because if somebody loses, you're like, that's kind of a big deal. Man, if somebody loses on September 9th, whatever it is, that's a big deal. 24-team playoff, it's not going to be a big deal. So I'm usually for, hey, just more teams. It's okay. I like big games. 24-team football is different than basketball. The basketball regular season, nobody cares about anyway. It's already done. We just care about the postseason. College football has both. They got a great regular season, maybe one of the best. It's up there with the NFL. And they have a great postseason at 12. It's still pretty darn good. Lincoln Riley saying, coaches all want this. Well, they just want to make the playoff, and then that helps them as coaches. Fans seem like they don't want this, and there's going to be there's going to be some people that say this isn't good. This isn't good expanding it that much, because now USC playing Ohio State, not nearly as big. Not nearly as big. So Lincoln Riley wants it. Fans, I think most of them don't want it. Big Ten does want it. SEC doesn't want to quite go to 24. We keep the round and round debate going. This is the biggest topic in college football over the next year. We're going to stay 12 for now. Biggest topic. It's going to go all year long. Do they go to 24? Sure seems like that's the money game. And the Big Ten already said, this isn't about the fan. Well, he didn't quite say it that, but Tony Petitti said, there's too much sponsorship opportunity and money here. And they're saying, I guess it's about the money. At least they're saying it. And Lincoln Riley said, well, this is all about the coaches. They want it. Coming right back with who's hot and who's not. They just released women's college NIL deals. So people look at NIL deals and they say, oh, it's all about football and men's basketball. It is. How did female athletes do with NIL this past year? Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
Weekend meal rules, they're different. Lots of meats, messier bites, zero regrets. That's why you need Village Hearth. Freshly baked old-fashioned buns that hold up to jumbo hot dogs, juicy burgers, and bold ideas. From lazy lunches to neighborhood block parties, Village Hearth brings it all together. Whatever's on the grill, make the bun count. Village Hearth. Cookouts start here.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great,
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A heat advisory continues until 7 p.m. tonight. Chance for storms tonight, otherwise cloudy skies. Lows dip down to about 68. Southwesterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun tomorrow. Slight chance of thunderstorms. High temperatures reach up to 89. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 95.
Play at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort this summer, and you'll qualify for $25,000 Sizzling Saturdays. 3 players will be drawn every Saturday to grab their share of $25,000 in cash and prizes. Play with your Clubhouse card and earn entries automatically. There are loads of prizes, including up to $5,000 cash, and this month's featured prize, an infrared sauna valued at $3,500. It's all happening at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort in downtown Deadwood. Learn more at tinlizzy.com.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
What are you doing?
Just getting in the holiday spirit.
Isn't it a little early for jingle bells and Christmas in general?
It's never too early for Christmas. But Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale just got me in the mood.
A window sale started all of this?
It's not just any window sale. It's Renewal by Anderson.
Okay, settle down. I'll get the ladder and we'll get started hanging the lights. Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale. 20% off every window and door. No money, no payment, and no interest for 18 months with approved credit. This means no payments till 2028. Hurry, the holiday savings end August 15th. Hassle-free, energy-efficient, low-maintenance windows with a professional fit. Renewal by Anderson uses Fibrex windows, keeping your home cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and reduces your energy bill. They do windows. They're the experts. No subcontractors. For a free in-home estimate and a perfect fit, go to RBARapidCity.com. That's RBARapidCity.com. Renewal by Anderson, when only the best will do.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, let's do this. Who's hot and who's not? You found us on the Nate Brown Show. Who's hot and who's not every night at this time. Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Stop by the Best Buffet, East River, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, a location in Brandon. Great Fun Zone Arcade, both locations. Home of everyone's favorite buffet by far is the Pizza Ranch, locally owned and operated. And our Pizza Ranch Who's Hot category, this interesting story from John Bryce, our guy John Bryce, USA Today, digging up some NIL deals, and he found out this past year the amount of NIL deals for Learfield with women athletes jumped a huge amount over the past year. More than doubled. I know the money, the big money, they say, well, it's going to the male athletes, but even the female student athlete participation in NIL deals has grew by more than 120% in the most recent fiscal year. Female athletes deals for NIL up 120%. Goes to show you. And I've heard about this. Female basketball players, stuff like this, they're making some money as well. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, speaking of deals, I didn't think this was still possible, but the NCAA has suspended college linebacker at Tennessee for the first 2 games of this season after he accepted a $427 flight from an agent. Hang on a second. We're paying guys millions of dollars, and this Tennessee linebacker gets suspended for 2 games because he accepted a flight, $427. What world are we living in? This is okay, but that's not. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
In the Army National Guard.